Welcome YouTube. Today I will be reading Africa 2.0, True Black Diamonds, Aboriginal, Moors, Religion, Color, Original Bible Prophets, African Descent, Hidden Information. Written by Richard Schweizweiser. I'm going to go inside the book right now. I will be reading Africa in the Bible. The stories that are mentioned in the Bible are placed around the Middle East. Movement of people was primarily governed by the political relation nations with Israel and Judah. Once again, it is surprising but true that Ethiopia and Egypt are in the Bible more often than any other country. This holds true for both the Old and the New Testament. Cush and Noah, the descendants of Noah through his son Ham, were black. The word Cush in Hebrew means black. The word Cush has been used 58 times in the King James Version of the Bible. The second son of Ham was Mizraim, which was the ancient name for Egypt. In the Genesis story, the descendants of Ham are located in the northern and central parts of Africa and southern parts of Asia in the Psalms. Egypt is mentioned as the land of Ham, and the tents of Ham are connected with Egypt. Some of the references mentioned in the Old Testament are the civilization of Mesopotamia was established by Nimrod, who was a son of Cush. Abraham hailed from Ur of Chaldees, again a land which was inhabited by blacks. And he traveled to Canaan and Egypt, where he again came in contact with people who were black. The descendants of Ham resided in Canaan. When it comes to the New Testament, there are frequent mentions of Africa. An Ethiopian eunuch was the first to be baptized, and since he hailed from a black region, he must have been a black man. Simeon has been called Niger in the Bible, which is Latin word for black. The above mentioned facts are clear indication of presence of blacks in the Bible. Black King James. When we talk about Africa in the Bible, it would be inappropriate not to mention King James the First. Europe has always propagated false claims about the place of origin of the Bible and the people behind it. The Europeans claim that the Bible is about 3 continents and was written in Europe. They deliberately underplay a few facts in the role of people other than European. King James I and his contribution toward the Bible happened to be a victim of lies and false claims propagated by the Europeans. Let us briefly look at who was King James and what contributions he made towards the Bible. King James I was a black king, and he ruled over Great Britain, France, and Ireland from 1566 to 1625. The King James Bible takes its name from him. Shocked to read that a black king ruled over such important parts of Europe and the King James Bible is named after him? But this is the truth, and as you read along, you will be aware of such truths. During the reign of King James, the church was divided. There was a need for a Bible for the common people, a Bible that could provide scriptural references for the purpose of clarification in an effort to resolve the conflict between the two fractions. King James I called for a conference which was attended by several learned men from the religion. The result of the conference was that 54 scholars worked for 7 years to produce a translation. The new translation, called the Authorized Version, was published in the year 1611. It was called the Authorized Version for it was approved to be read in the churches. Later, the Bible was given to King James Version. The English used the Bible was also accepted as a standard English for the Bible. King James I personally supervised the translation work, and as a result, the Bible came out as one of the most accurate translations. As you can see, everyone in the Bible was mostly black. Even King James, the person that wrote the Bible, was black of color. Chapter 2, I'm going to read True Color of the Early Priests. I am sure you are wondering after reading the heading that what does the color of a priest have to do in a book titled Untold Story of Africa. As you read through, you will realize that all or most of the reverend priests were of African origin. Yes, this is true, and we have enough proof to prove that statement. It is wrong to say that the priests were not black. Not just the early priests and prophets, even the earliest gods were black and had wool-like hair. Buddha of India, Lao Tse of China, Tyre of Scandinavia, Isis of Egypt and Rome all had African features, woolly hair and broad lips and wide nose. When it comes to Jesus, Muhammad, and Moses, they were of black origin. Jesus is shown with woolly and nappy hair, for he was a Nazarite. The word Nazarite is from the word Nazar, meaning unshorn. A Nazarite is under a vow not to cut his hair. Hair, when washed and left unbrushed, tend to be twined into locks, and these are a trait of black people. Yeah, definitely like mine. It is the West that projected nappy hair as something undesirable, when actually in some cultures, the hair are considered to be an antenna that receive and transmit energy. Prophet Muhammad, the founder of Islam, had a dark complexion and frizzy hair, and it is said that his father was as black as a dark night. The early portrayals of Moses show him as a black, and it is said that every time God communicated with him, his hands would turn white. The earliest Greek and Roman gods were also black. Apollo, Hercules, Zeus, Athena, Venus, all were Egyptian gods that were black. The early historians had recorded that the names of all the Greek gods came from Egypt. The main title of god Zeus was received as the greatest of all gods was Ethos. We have discussed the meaning of the word Ethiopia in earlier sections of the book. It may sound repetitive, but yes, it means black, burnt-faced. The title of Osiris means Lord of the Perfect Black. Let us dive a little bit more on the color of Jesus and the other Hebrews. Some 2,000 years ago, an ethnic group known as the Jews or Hebrews inhabited Africa. It goes without saying that this ethnic group was black, and many of them are still black. The question that we are trying to answer here is that how did the Hebrews turn white? The Hebrews turning white in history is a conscious and well-concerted effort of the white Europes. Europe was inhibited by the blacks and the whites, and their intermixing definitely had the result of white turning black and black turning white. As time passed, Europe became more homogeneously white, and they decided that they could no longer continue to acknowledge that everything that they owed it to the blacks. They started to project that everything was the result of their hard work, labor, and intellectual abilities in their minds. The motivation behind this could be said to be more psychological, for if they had continued to look up to the blacks, they would hardly be able to make any progress. A conscious change had to be initiated. It cannot be said for definite that when did this process start, but yes, origin of Jesus and how the white manipulated his color and feature to make him look one like them. The pictures that are arranged in chronicle order to help you understand how that transition was manipulated. It's showing a picture of how they manipulated the pictures. It says the graffiti dates back to 200 AD or even before. Discovered in 1857, it indicates a man with the head of an ass being crucified while another stands behind him worshiping him. The Hebrews were considered to worship an ass. This also indicated towards Christianity. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So as you can see, everybody in the book was of color. They did go, through the ages of changing the black to the white in pictures. And all the priests were black and of color. King James and his people were black. I'm going to come back tomorrow with another part of the book. It's a lot to read. So I'm going to break it up in segments. So if you like this and want more, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when I upload. And I will check y'all tomorrow. Peace.